There we go. It tends to help when there's actually music playing for an intro, you know? Often that is very helpful. Let's press that button. Hey, how's it going? I hope everyone is well. Episode 25 of Explore the Beyond Scales of Destiny, which is pretty exciting. I think it's episode 25. It might be more or less. But hey, who needs to count anyway, right? I think it's 25. I'm going to double check. It is. Yes, episode 25. Good job, me. Professional. Welcome, whomever happens to be here so far. We have no Burius tonight. He is ill. Worked too hard on his own stream. Imagine. So he's taken the night off. That's all good. We'll still be playing without him. No worries, no drama. And Vic will be tagging along to get involved in anything that happens to happen. So it's all good. So yeah, why don't we bring in the group, shall we? Rando. 5 months, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yathina appreciates that. Explore the Beyond appreciates that. We appreciate you, Rando. Thank you. Now let's see what kind of sticky situation we can find out what chat's in, right? Ah, you're silent. Hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I didn't announce prior to this who's doing the recap, but
It is me.
it's Josh.
It is Josh.
If you would like to take it
Yes.
away.
So last week the group was split when we started. In not split, but we weren't together. It was Vic and Aqua. We went and had a look around the forest for figures we were seeing, and indeed it was figures. Because we ended up getting attacked. As fast as we got attacked, it was as fast as it ended, with Vic murdering all but one, the Bandit Lord, who Vic managed to persuade him to leave us alone and hopefully not come back to kill us. We'll see how that one goes. We then get back with Sköld and Nal, inform them of what's actually happened, and head off to Oakberg. Finally. As we get there, we have the normal guards checking us through the gate. And as we get into Oakberg, Nal decides to go on a bit of a shopping spree. And buys loads of, what would you say, gimmicks?
I did that, I forgot.
Yeah, magical
trinkets.
items. Yeah, that's it. Trinkets. Comic-Con sort of stuff.
Souvenirs, I like to think of them as.
Thank you. I just completely forgot that word.
Yeah, souvenir. There you go.
She not only bought herself stuff, she got Aqua t-shirt, I believe, which she is wearing. Then Vic goes and finds a guard who asks where the bounty board is. It was a pretty interesting guard. But did we get much information out of him? I can't remember. I tuned him out.
Obviously
He
not.
was that kind of guard. We then decided to put our horses in a stable and talk to the orc owner, who we had Sköld as our negotiator for that one.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you spoke to him, tried to get us a good deal.
Okay.
I don't think we got a good deal.
Oh, yes, I remember now. Yes.
I love how 2 weeks is the amount of time it takes for you guys to completely forget all of the finer
Yeah.
details.
Like the little bits, so the bits I'm trying to get back.
Yeah.
We then actually went to the pub, the Grand Array.
Mm-hmm.
and the guy refuses to serve the drinks we wanted. Unfortunately,
I don't
disappointed in
think
that.
refuse is the right word. I just
He
didn't
ref-
have it.
Nah.
Feel my alcoholism.
Yeah. He did, though, take us upstairs and tell us, well, sort of give us a brief info on the bounty board and what there is to do. He then told us, this is the part where my notes get a bit funny, about a heavenly lady, I'm not going to even pronounce what I typed there, who rules Ogberg. And we can help her to... Yep, my notes gone to pot.
Something about war.
It was the heart gem, Heartstone.
Yeah, something
Yes.
about the heart gem from Sköld, and that was stolen from his homeland and was brought to this island, and it might be in Dimetaria, but they don't know for sure. And there's some conflict going on, and we might be able to help by joining their ranks, essentially.
Yes,
But
and
that's
working
all
for them.
talk so far. No decisions have been made.
Yeah, we have to
No.
find the location of the Heartstone and return it
Yeah,
back
we will.
to...
Yeah.
That's it. He told us that he could get us a meeting with her, but we would have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We then decide to talk in the room for a bit, and then we...
Don't know if we did much else after that.
And
No, I
that,
think
No.
we had a long rest that night.
and that was
No, we...
that-
Was it that night? Yeah.
So you had a long rest. You stayed the night, and then you went out to the smith.
That's why. There was a whole Nal entered my mind, Aqua's mind, to try and get more information.
She just wanted to see what you're thinking about.
Yeah. She failed to a degree, in a sense.
even
So
though you
I
even
wasn't-
though even though you let it happen, she still didn't get much.
Yeah. So that was good.
That's not necessarily to say she failed. More like Aqua's mind is just that blank.
No, it's that chaotic. It's hard to find your way around. Yeah. So then, yeah, we went to sleep, and everyone had dreams. I didn't write down the dreams. We're gonna ignore that part.
I didn't put them.
We everyone got up. They went to get breakfast while Aqua stayed in the room and summoned what is now a parrot named Echo, who will be following us around until he dies. Aqua then goes down and meets the group, and we head off to the blacksmith, where Vic learns more about his ruins and talks about his past.
You are missing out the debacle of the table with no spare chairs.
Yes.
I'm purposely
tables.
never wrote that down because I didn't find that important information.
Yeah, we looked for half an hour for a table,
I think
and no one would let us sit with them.
I think the fact that Vic is not only sexist but also racist against dwarves, I think it was.
Yeah.
Kind of important to the narrative, you know.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm blindly looking the other way. I'm not helping or enabling any of that.
If you say so. If you say so, my friend.
Okay, so by the end, we now tries to talk to the public and find a post office.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she was successful with that just yet.
I failed, yeah.
She then tries to read Sköld's mind, which fails. And we all decide to head back to the pub.
Yeah.
I just need to practice my ability a little bit more. It's new, right? And she's suddenly like, oh, I can hear someone's thoughts. How does that work? Shit, I don't actually know how that works. I need to practice a little bit.
Let's just enter everyone's mind we see.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's it. We're back at the pub.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. You do return to to the tavern that you've been staying in, and you notice through the door as you arrive that there's a light show going on inside, and you can hear two voices kind of harmonizing with each other in an absolutely amazing duet, the likes of which you've rarely experienced before. It is like a wondrous experience. Like, you're hit by just noise as soon as you walk in, but it's not unpleasant. It's actually quite enjoyable. You find yourself like bopping your head slightly to the rhythm, and you see on the stage ahead of you as you enter a creature similar to you, Aqua, in terms of race, but the entire opposite. And his hair, whereas yours is sort of like flowing water, his seems to be burning flames, and his skin, instead of being blue like yours, seems to have a tinge of orange to it. And the voice that's emanating from his mouth is the perfect accompaniment to the tiefling stood to his right, who's also doing a bit of a dance, a bit of a jig, kind of taking the space of the stage, whose voice is a few octaves higher in range than his, but never overpowers or overrides his voice. They work perfectly. And her purple skin compared to his orangey red skin, her shocking white hair compared to his flames, they seem to be working in harmony, and the lights, you realize after looking at them for a second, like the light show that's happening is emanating from them. Their performance, their music, their entertainment is including the light show that you are experiencing. And all of the guests, all of the patrons of the tavern this evening are just entranced. Some of them are applauding, some of them are just tapping their foot along with the music. It's a big thing, it seems.
Nell is very enthralled by the performance, and she leans over to Aqua after a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes. How long do you think it takes them to put on that purple and orange makeup, to put on the makeup in the morning?
Purple guy, I have no idea, but that orange dude, he's kind of what you do, but me, in a sense. He's me, but fire.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you think so? You think that's real fire?
I assume so. I'm real water.
After seeing Aqua, I'm happy to believe anything.
I'm just amazed he's not setting the stage on fire.
Suppose he has control over his
Yeah,
fire.
he might be older. He has learnt how to control his magic better than I have.
A song they're playing ends, and without missing a beat, without missing a step, they stop. They kind of take a breath in a sort of final pose for the song, and then immediately the music in the room changes. The music that they seem to be producing, as well as along with the lights, it changes, and the song goes from quite an up-tempo jaunty beat to actually quite a slower slow melody and a bit more like a ballad, and the song that they start singing is a lot more somber, a bit more reserved, a bit sadder, but they're such born performers that they've still got a smile on their face. You know, they're lapping up the attention.
Shall we go and talk to the tavern keeper?
Yeah.
Yes. He should have the letter by now.
Try not to disturb the performance.
Yeah, I head to the bar.
Okay. Please hold. I should now just be able to do that. There we go. Vic's a bit slow, seems a bit more entranced by the performance, but eventually comes up behind you and joins you at the bar.
So, I suppose
As you reach the bar, the barkeep, same guy you've seen previously, he acknowledges you. He acknowledges that you're there, but he kind of holds a hand up. Needs a minute. He's busy. It's a very it's a busy bar tonight.
I see.
In like the very few moments that people have between songs or between performances, they're making the most of it. They're going for drinks, refreshments, beverage, like refills, that sort of thing. And eventually, oh my god, go away, go. I'm not on the right map. I was doing something else as I was talking, and oops.
Eventually he tells you to go away.
Yeah. Freighter comes over. You're back then. I have the letter for you.
Good.
Just follow me. And he takes you and leads you back upstairs. Actually, no, he doesn't. He takes you out the back. He beckons you around the bar.
Ooh,
and
fancy.
leads you back out into the
Storeroom.
the storeroom. Yes. Music stops. And as you make it out, the door behind you closes. Well, I must admit it took me a bit longer to get it than I was expecting. She was a bit
Not good.
She was a bit more reticent than I was expecting, but eventually she came round. Now, this letter will grant you access to her manor. You are expected tonight for dinner.
Oh.
If you are willing, you may head over there whenever you're ready. Of course, later today when it's actually dinner time, but I was like, why can't I hear myself? It's my phone. Sorry. He then looks around and looks at you all. Having spoken to her briefly and to her associates, she seems in good spirits, but tensions are high right now. One poorly placed word or misspoken sentence will possibly end badly for you.
I look over
okay.
at Nal at that sentence.
Yes, I was just saying, make a sideways glance at Nell.
I don't say anything. I just nod as if I'm agreeing, not oblivious to the world, as if, you know, I'm not the troublemaker in this group.
The group understands you now. They know. But that being said, I think you're in with a good chance of some good money from this. A bit of good reputation. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for, really. So, don't mess this up, and you'll probably be set for life.
Sounds good.
Alright? But,
So, I suppose it's where and when then.
well, he pulls out a letter from his coat pocket and hands it over to you. There is one letter, admittance for you four. It is sealed against anybody else. Only the four of you may enter using it. As I'm sure you can understand, the Heavenly Lady doesn't accept just anybody into her presence. Therefore, we have to take precautions.
Of course. Say, is this a very fancy dinner?
Well, it's a dinner with the Heavenly Lady. Like, what do you expect?
So,
we
is there a
may
dress
need-
code?
Yes.
You're not expected in black tie, if that's what you're asking.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
We need to look. We can wear our normal stuff, but clean.
Clean, yes.
Clean,
I look
definitely.
down at myself with wearing like the pirate clothes that look slightly tattered by now, and the armor not being visible right now. I suppose.
You will have to change. Pirates, not a good look.
It's okay. It's okay. I can change. It's no worries.
Piracy is generally a bad look anywhere in this city.
Yeah, I don't know who would do that.
Oh, I'm not a pirate yet. Not yet.
What do you mean yet?
Nothing.
She's easily amused. She's dreamed about it. It's fine. She's never gonna go through with it.
If you say so. Just be careful what you say. The associates she has will be watching. They will take notes of you. Anything you say will count against you in the long run.
Hypothetically, if we mentioned that someone we know has a bounty on their head, would that be a good or a bad thing?
What do you think?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't mention anything that has gone against us.
Okay,
Sounds
fine.
reasonable.
We're only trying to help. It's people trying to put our group down.
I don't know what you're into outside Altberg, but the second you start interacting with the Heavenly Lady, you are in with some heavy people, into some heavy stuff. This is no joke. This won't end well for you if you mess this up.
Understood.
Anyway, on to brighter matters. You have a few hours until you're expected. What do you plan to do?
I need to pick up some postcards. Also, is there a post office here?
Post office.
Somewhere where I can pay someone to make a delivery for me cross island.
Thanks. I know what a post office is. I was thinking about it. Now that you mention it, yes, there is. But it will cost you. These things aren't cheap. Dangerous. Dangerous game. Posting. Dangerous game. What is it you're looking to send?
Just a letter.
Just a letter. To whom, might I ask?
My parents. I haven't seen them for a while, or they haven't seen me for a while. And I just want to make sure that they know I'm still alive, and yeah, just tell them about what I've been up to.
I see. I see. Well, there are means to send physical letters. There is means to send magical letters.
How would I send a magical letter?
That does sound intriguing.
Well,
And is that quicker than a physical letter?
well, yeah. They literally just send a message to whoever you're, to the recipient.
Oh, I
Costs
can
you.
do that, but not that long range.
Yeah, well, think that, but further, and
Okay.
you'll be onto something.
Okay. Would you know someone who can do that?
I might do.
Are you willing to share your knowledge?
I might be. How much you offering?
A round of drinks.
I literally own a
Wax
tavern.
here.
I can have a drink whenever I want.
I
Free
mean,
of
we
charge.
buy a round of drinks right now, even though we don't want them.
What
We
good?
would buy them anyway.
Exactly. That would do nothing for me.
What do you want? I can offer 2 gold.
Please. It would cost you more than that to send a physical letter.
I'll take the 2
Him-
gold and send it.
I'm just looking for information. Wait, Aqua, can you actually send messages long range?
Nope, I just want the gold.
Great. I travel with you.
Yeah, I know.
I
We're
look
good
back
friends,
at
aren't we?
I look back at Freighter. Wait. Can you do that?
Might be I can. I have my skills. I've learned some
Inside
things.
check. Inside check. I don't quite believe him. Not enough to want to offer more money.
Roll an insight check. I mean, he seems to be telling the truth. There's no hesitation in the, delivery, and, he's done nothing but help you so far.
Okay. Well, okay. How much money does it cost usually to send a message like that?
Well, spell components and my time. I don't send it the conventional way. I do have to use other methods, which does take a bit more time. But I'm thinking 10 gold.
How about 8?
9.
Fine.
Would it be cheaper if we bought the components ourselves and gave them to you?
No.
And that would also be much more complicated, and I would like this done as soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay. I had to 9 gold.
Okay. Hand over the 9 gold. To whom am I sending this message?
Oh shit, I don't have a name. That's the one thing that I can come up with.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Hold on. Guys, give me a random name.
Jemima Puddleduck.
No. Okay.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
John Smith.
Okay. Hold on. Give me one.
Jebediah.
I need a woman's name.
Jebediah Et. Martin.
Uh.
Come on, chat. Get
Fiona.
involved. We all need to throw names at Yathina.
Cider. Her name is Cider.
Cider.
I thought you said side duck them for a second.
No. It's not cider. It's cider.
Yeah.
Bad Cider. It's spelled Saida. That's her mother's name. That's a good thing that I came up with a very detailed fucking backstory, but no names for her parents.
How'd you spell her name again?
Saida.
Sadia.
Oh, no, Cider. But Sadia is better. That's also the name in real life of one of my cousins.
There we go.
I quite like Griselda Bumrick. Because
Phil
He gets enough
McCracken.
votes, maybe.
because that then means your second name is Bumrick, and that'd be quite funny.
Okay, Sadia, I like that name. And I like literally one of my cousins is named that in Pakistan.
Okay. So, to whom
So-
am I sending this message?
Her name is Sadia. She's my mother. She lives on the southern island. And yeah, she doesn't have a last name. We don't really have last names where I come from. No, it's true. It's true. It's a thing.
No, I am aware of this. Lowborn families don't tend to have last names.
Yeah.
Well, what's she look like?
She is about my height, maybe a little bit taller. She has long brown hair, blue eyes, olive skin. She has usually her hair tied up in a bun. Yeah, and she is very kind. She always looks very kind.
Okay. Well, give me half an hour. Feel free to enjoy the entertainment. We have the Angels of Oakburg in today. I'm very proud to have managed to get them in. Not easy to book these two, you know.
They are very talented.
They are indeed.
I have never seen someone with purple skin. How do you think they paint themselves?
Don't say that to her. Don't. Just no.
Yeah. People that like us with different colours, we get kind of touchy on that. Just say she looks nice.
Okay.
You like the colour.
I like her
That's
horns
about
too.
it. But is he a real fire Ganesh?
Yes, he is.
Wow, I've only heard about them. I've never actually seen one.
Yep. Real as they can be, same as you. But fiery instead of moist.
Yeah, I better not touch. He might dry me out.
Well, I don't think he has that effect on many people.
How about we have a drink and wait the half an hour and see if we can actually find a place to sit this time?
Sure. Feel free. I will come and find you when I am ready.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
It's alright. And as soon as the door opens and Vic walks out, you are hit immediately by the colours, the noise, and the sort of cheering applause. They're currently engaged in kind of like a call and return type song where the tiefling is sort of doing a chant essentially, and the Ganassi is doing the reply alongside the crowd, and they're so pumped up. Like, the crowd are rowdy right now, and they're into it. It's going well. They look like they've done this before. They're professionals. They've got this down. And behind you, the door shuts, and you settle down, take a drink, and some of the bar ladies come round, and it's like they've been told to just keep your drinks full. So they come round and they have jugs, and they just keep filling up your
Tankard.
Yes, thank you, tankard. Every time it looks like it's getting empty, they come and refill it for you.
Better not be going on a tab.
The drink that they're offering is kind of like a honeyed mead. It's very sweet, but it's also thick, almost like it's liquid. It's drinkable, but it just feels like it coats the throat as it goes down, and almost soothing effect. Like you drink.
I'm imagining custard.
No, it's not like that. It's like a normal like beverage, you know, like it's liquid, but it just feels like it has a coating effect on the throat, and it's very soothing. And the more you drink, the sort of less. It's like anxiety. All your anxieties and stresses and everything just fall away, and you're merry without being drunk. It's quite a nice, pleasant feeling.
Okay.
Um,
I was about to say that. That sounds like alcohol to me.
well, I mean,
But,
it is alcohol. it's mead, but it doesn't give you the kind of like woozy feeling you get when you're drunk. You know, it's like all the upsides without the downsides. And they just keep refilling, and the two performers, they're just lapping up the crowd. You know, at this point, the crowd are doing more singing than they are. They are literally just sort of producing the music, producing the lights, and kind of banging along with their feet on the stage at the same time, in time with the music, and kind of getting the crowd to go "Way" every now and then in time with the tune. And people are just throwing coins up at them. You know, gold coins, silver coins, copper coins occasionally. And it seems every time a coin gets thrown up, there's like a floating bucket almost. It's not very deep. It's probably only sort of 5 or 6 inches deep. But it seems to just about it seems to float over every time there's a coin coming onto the stage, and catch it and return back to the sort of a set point, and then keeps flying away to catch all of these coins. But you can't hear anything connect when it catches the coin. It just seems to land in the cup or the bucket and sort of disappear. And occasionally the tiefling will just wink down at some people and smile, and the same for the Ganassi. They kind of just, you know, they're playing to the crowd quite nicely. Before you know it, half an hour passes, and the door to the back opens, and Rhaetar kind of emerges, looking, I wouldn't say, yeah, he looks perturbed, a bit kind of off, and he comes straight over to Nell. Well, I don't really know what to say. I couldn't get through to anyone.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Did you have the wrong person?
No, I took the image you gave me in my head and the name, and I did the ritual. I, laid it out like I always do. But I just couldn't find the person you were asking for me for. Sadia. Couldn't find it.
You immediately see Nell going pale and quite frankly not knowing, not comprehending what he's saying. But that's nonsense. She's probably busy. She's probably working, and you had the wrong person.
No, I don't think I did.
I mean, you could try it with my father.
I mean, I can try. What's his name? What's he look like?
Let's do this again. Hold on.
Clive.
No.
Cedric.
Derek. Bob. Tony.
Kane. His name is Kane.
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 Annie.
Kane.
Kanye?
Kanye West.
I've heard of that guy. He's a musician, I believe.
Sounds like a bit of a dick to me.
I think he's God.
Kane.
Yes, that's who my father is. He's God. No. Yeah, his name's Kane, and he's a farmer. He's old. He must be in his 60s now. And he's bald. And has light brown skin, brown eyes. Most of the time wears a t-shirt and a shirt probably, and trousers, simple trousers and some boots, and he's always outside, always working outside. I'm sure you will get through to him.
I will certainly do my best. I will do my best. And he kind of has the same perturbed look, and he retreats back. He doesn't like ask for money, doesn't ask for any more details, he just retreats. Make a perception check now. It's difficult to sort of really tell what you're feeling right now, but there's definitely confusion and there's no sound for you right now. It's like almost like your ears are completely filled with something that isn't. It's not the noise you've been hearing. You can still see the colours. You can still see the patrons kind of banging along to the music, but you can't hear it. As far as you know, there's nothing. Make a wisdom check for me.
Oh no. Oh, come on.
The silence is deafening. It's you taken. It's overwhelming how quiet the place has become from being so loud, and now you just can't. It's almost like you can't breathe. And while everyone else is still kind of, what is everyone else doing? Are you like taking in the scenes? Are you in? What are you up to?
Aqua is just enjoying the music, kind of watching the Fire Ganesh just go at it while drinking. Not much else Aqua is doing at the moment.
Okay. Your silent stupor now is ended almost before it begins by the door slamming open again, and Freighter comes storming out. Either you are winding me up good and proper, or something is wrong. Can't get through to this Kane guy you mentioned.
No, that's nonsense. You have to get through to someone.
No one.
You must have the wrong people. You have definitely have the wrong people.
I don't think I do. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Are there candles around?
Yeah, there's a few. They're not currently lit due to the light show that's happening, but there are a few, yeah.
All of them that are around her, and I don't know, in a 10 feet, 15 feet radius, are suddenly igniting. Not like majorly igniting. They just go on as she stares at him.
Okay. They just ignite and they start to flicker, and the rest of you do notice, candles start to flare up and flicker. And usually, when Nell's around, any open flame that begins to flicker by itself is usually a problem.
I go to try and comfort now and just say, maybe we need to calm down a bit and try to think about another way of contacting them.
I shrug him off in that sort of slightly toxic, leave me alone sort of movement, and I get up from the chair. And without a word, I walk upstairs.
Okay.
This is troubling.
Yes. Let's hope it's not the worst and something's just gone wrong through the message itself.
Well, I'm no expert in magic, transmutation of messages and whatnot, but I would assume it's quite a reliable method of communication. But maybe there's something blocking the message, or maybe things aren't as they seem.
Yes, maybe there has been some disturbance in the force of magic.
Don't know if there's much we can do to help at this point, but no, give her a bit of a moment. But we still have to go to this dinner, so we best get prepared.
Yes, you're right. We should at least tidy ourselves up a bit before we head out. This could be really good if we get this.
Yeah, well, barring any unforeseen problems, I think it can be quite a straightforward first encounter.
Yeah, try and get it in and out.
Yep, go in there, get the information we need, see what we need to do, and then we'll be on our way. Simple as.
Vic seems somewhat subdued during this conversation, but he is kind of nodding along to the idea of, simple, we'll go and get it, if nothing else, it's probably a fancy dinner.
Vic's just happy he's in a chair.
He's got a chair, he's happy. In fact, he actually moved from one chair to another and looked quite gleeful about the prospect.
Wow.
Not
he's in his happy place.
Yeah, exactly.
Not having to shoo away any women for it.
Exactly, he doesn't have to, berate anybody. So, it's quite an easy night for him.
Well then, shall we...
Freighter comes over just before you get up to leave. And he kind of leans over the bar to the three of you. And I don't think she was winding me up. But I wasn't getting through to anyone.
And the usual causes of this, apart from the one you wish not to mention.
There's a couple. That one. Or they're on another plane somewhere. That's a limitation that I can't surpass. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you she was being genuine. She really wants to get a message to them, but yeah. It's unfortunate you weren't able to get through.
It was. And I will apologise to her next time I see her for any distress that has been caused by this.
You haven't done anything wrong.
And eventually she will come to understand and calm down. Probably apologize to you as well. We'll just have to see how she is before we head out.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure whatever the problem is can be sorted out.
Hope so. Right. Let's get ready then.
Yes, let's go.
Nell is upstairs and has gone to their room. She has closed and locked the door. And then me as Yathina, I know she can't do that, but Nell doesn't understand many of the powers that she has. And if a random fucking barkeeper or tavern keeper in a random city can do it, why couldn't she do it? So she sits down on the bed, and for some reason she's holding the Hellfire Whip.
Okay.
And she's just trying to concentrate on everything that she's got, on all the worry that she suddenly has, on all the uncertainty, and she's trying to reach out to her parents through her mind, or maybe trying to reach out to anyone in that sense, to see what the fuck is going on, because she's not understanding why wouldn't he be able to get through to them. She just saw them a couple of months ago, and yes, okay, there was 4 months plus because they were in the Feywild, but that's not enough time for something to happen. And why would anything happen to them? They live in a relatively peaceful village and in a peaceful area. Why would there be anything happening to them? So she's very desperate. She's very confused and very worried and very anguished even.
Okay. Make a concentration check.
It's a con saving throw, right?
Mm-hmm. You hear footsteps outside the door as you're settling on the bed, trying to focus and meditate, basically. And you hear the door rattle and Aqua outside the door trying to get in. Manage to shake it off. And then you slip away into the silence again. With ease almost, like it's a bit of a shock to you how you've gone from hearing Aqua 1 second outside the door, rattling the door handle, trying to get in through, and you hear him turn and say something to Sköld and Vic down the hallway, and then immediately it's silent. You try to open your eyes, but you can't tell whether your eyes are open or it's just pitch black. There's no sense of difference between the two. And then you hear a voice echo from somewhere in front of you, behind you, around you. Anelia.
Do I recognize the voice?
You recognize it. You recognize it as a voice that you can't remember. Anelia.
Who are you? I'm trying to talk to my parents.
They're not in right now, Anelia. You can
Who
talk
are
to
you?
me instead.
Who are you? She says it a couple of times, like firmer and firmer. Who are you? Who are you?
That's not a question that needs answering right now, Anelia. The question is, who are you, and whom do you wish to be? Do you wish to be a girl who limits herself to her parents, or the girl who goes on adventures and sees the world for herself? Or do you wish to be the girl that burns?
I want to know whether my parents are okay.
Only you can answer that. These are the questions that only you have the answers to. You just have to dig deep and find them.
I don't know. I tried to contact them, and there's a desperate plea in her voice. She doesn't know who she's talking to, but she's desperately fishing for any sort of information that her parents are okay.
Did you try to contact them?
Just now I did.
Did you try to contact them?
I asked the barkeeper because I don't have the means to.
How can the barkeep find your parents, Anelia?
I don't know.
If you don't know, then how is he supposed to know?
He said he had the means.
Men say things that they don't always follow through on. So do little girls in perilous situations.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
That is not the question, Anelia. Make a wisdom saving throw. There's a moment of silence, and then there's an echo. And it takes a moment to work out what this echo is. This again is a sound that's familiar that you don't remember. Deep down, it's important and it has meaning. You just can't place it.
Can I try and concentrate on this sound and try to...
And then there's a scream. And suddenly you hear around you the banging at the door handle rattling, and Aqua outside the door.
Am I still holding the Hellfire Whip?
You are holding the Hellfire Whip, and you notice that it's singed into the bed sheets on the bed. Aqua.
Yes.
The door opens in front of you, and you see Nell sat on the bed, legs crossed, Hellfire, her whip in her hand, and there is a singe in a straight line out from her, right across the room.
Now, are you okay?
I open my eye. I only have one. And I look at Aqua and then look around me and try to comprehend what just happened. And I just shake my head. I don't know. I just want to know whether my parents are okay.
We will. We will find a way to contact them. There's there's many reasons why magic can go wrong, and it could be multiple reasons. So for now, let's focus on trying to stay alive ourselves, and then when we get the chance, we can contact your parents again.
Yeah, I roll up the Hellfire Whip and I pat out any sort of singeing that might be still smoldering on the bed. I'm sorry, sorry. And then she gets up from the bed. So
Vic walks in and looks around the room and then looks at you and just shakes his head. Just like,
Suppose we best try and hide this as much as we can. Don't want any more fines to be incurred.
I look at Aqua then. Aqua,
Yes,
you have magic.
I do.
Do you have magic that can look into someone's mind?
I do not.
What about you, Sköld?
I do not either.
Fine.
Vic's just like,
What?
nah, me either.
Go on.
We know that. That's have
Of
magic.
course you
Well, he
don't, Vic,
doesn't.
because I pack him on the shoulder.
What's that supposed to mean?
She's trying to compose herself and takes a deep breath, wipes off a tear or two from her face, and then she looks at her friends. So, shall we go to that dinner?
If we're all
Yes.
ready, we probably need to just freshen up a bit, make sure then we're clean and
At this point, we just dust ourselves off.
Nell speaks a few words to her armor, or to herself essentially, and her armor then appears as a long dress. Quite fancy looking, but maybe not necessarily what normal people would feel is fancy. It's for normal people, it's probably just a normal dress, but for her, it looks quite fancy because she doesn't really know what fancy looks like, or that's what she imagines what fancy looks like. So she's wearing a long, sort of brownish dress. Just yeah. Okay, you think this will do?
Yeah, better than any of us.
Okay.
all right then. If we're all ready, I suppose one of us knows where we need to go.
Who has the invitation? Who took the invitation?
I assumed Skull took it because at that point he was talking to the barkeeper.
Yeah.
Okay. Much like the invitation you received for the Arcane Infinity, this invitation is drawing you in a direction.
Oh, well, that's convenient. It seems to be one of those magic invitations again. We just need to follow it in the rough location of where we need to go and should do the rest.
Okay. Let's do that then.
It's currently pulling you into the center of the city where you've seen previously that there's like a castle essentially, kind of, you know, built up around this. The city is been built around, and you, Sköld specifically, are getting an image of what's essentially a manor house. Not the castle itself, but a manor house that behind you can see the brickwork that would indicate, you know, a castle. So you know roughly where you're heading now.
Okay. Well, we must head to the center of town, and we should be able to find our way from there. Maybe look for a grand house and near the castle. We'll see. I'm sure it will become more clear as we get near.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
We'll just start walking.
Okay. So as you all head off into the back out of the Grand Array and into the city itself, you notice that time has passed. It was still basically morning when you arrived back. You know, it was sort of middle of the day kind of time, and now it is well and truly sort of late afternoon, early evening. Time has flown by today. And with that, you are kind of greeted by a whole cacophony of tourists who are, you know, heading out for the evening, heading to a restaurant or to a bar, or out to the tourist destinations of the city. Some slightly less fancy looking folk who smell of fish that have probably just come from the dock. Aqua, to you that smells like heaven. And you know, there's a vast variety of people, some sort of wealthier looking, some a bit more you know, common for want of a better word. And it's all very hustle and bustle, very kind of active city. Eventually, following Sköld's lead, you make it to the, a sort of portcullis gate lead, which is built around the keep in the center of the city, the castle keep type area. At this portcullis gate, there are 3 guards, 2 of which are on the outside facing you, and 1 on the inside facing inwards, you know, for the return journey. The 2 guards on the outside stop you and request to see your invitation, or, you know, they're querying why you're walking towards the keep, basically. You show them the invitation and they immediately, without hesitation, let you through. This is a, you know, official thing. They're not going to hold you back. And as you walk into the courtyard of the keep, it's supremely clean. That's the first thing you notice. Almost like gravelly hardcore pathways lead off in all sorts of directions to different watchtowers on the inner wall. So the keep doors, there's this little chapel in between the keep and the manor house that isn't big by any means, but is grand in design and scale. Sköld, you would notice particularly that on the stonework above the door of this chapel, it is artwork of various types of dragons in combat. Not the same sort of combat and dragons that you've seen previously in sort of the souvenir-esque stuff, where it's, you know, a dragon slayer knight fighting a dragon. This is dragon on dragon combat. You can see just through your sort of knowledge of these things, of craftsmanship in general, of stonework, of religious iconography, even if it's not particularly of your religion itself. This is a temple to metallic dragons, or this inscription, this design is metallic dragons in combat with chromatic dragons. And your knowledge of this comes from stories passed down through the clans, through families, through all sorts, where hundreds and thousands of years of your island is particularly being ravaged by dragon attack after dragon attack. of a lot of your race in general being taken in as Dragon Slayer Knights due to your just general hardiness and ability to deal with tough climates. And your education of such things, immediately giving away the metallic dragons because they have 4 legs, they're regal, their necks are always making them look proud in the way they stand, whereas the chromatic dragons, 2 legs, claws on the end of their wings, hunched over, vicious, hunger on their face, and just general body language. And just from that inscription alone, you can see, or you know, that this would be a temple to Bahamut, the god of metallic dragons.
I'll explain it.
Likely, yes. And you see, upon closer inspection, you see a few more of these inscriptions, of these drawings, essentially, over window frames, and on the top of a spire of the chapel there is a small what do you call it, like a carving, essentially, of Bahamut himself. Like it's good work. This was, either carved by dwarves or by someone who has spent decades like copying and honing their craft. The manor house next to it, not exactly not as grandiose, but is definitely large in scale. You approach the front door, and there's a lawn around the outside, very kind of well maintained bushes, shrubbery underneath some of the bay windows. On the front of the door there is like a dragon head knocker, essentially, made from silver or something adjacent to silver.
Right. Quite extravagant.
Extravagant is a word. That certainly is a word. There's certainly been no expense spared.
Wondering if I can glean anything else from this.
What would you like to
sort of
glean?
Iconography. Potentially any sort of allegiances with any other sort of groups of people that I need to be careful not to say anything bad about, apart from the fact that it's heavily influenced by metallic dragons.
Make a religion check, I guess.
Religion check.
Roll religion. Okay. With a 12. You know that be a bit more specific about what you're trying to glean. Are you trying to glean things about Bahamut, or about...
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose Bahamut and any sort of... what's the word I'm looking for? Any other sort of like groups that would maybe worship this particular dragon.
Okay. You know of an order far away of the long lost Dragonborn who were created by Bahamut to integrate into society, and they were sort of created to be equal to, you know, humans, half elves, elves even, and halflings, gnomes, you know, the general sort of civilized species. And for a long time they were, and they excelled in all things combat and all things mystical. They were the the place to go to get any information about draconic things. And you know that, as with a lot of things, some of them were corrupted by Tiamat. That their order essentially fell, and they were essentially erased from the whole face of the planet, from existence, rather than see them continue to commit heinous acts. Since then, Bahamut as well also has taken more of a back seat. There are fewer sects and sort of organized religions around him, or at least that are publicly known about. In the grand scheme, you know, it's difficult to tell, but from what you know and what you gather, it's like his kind of the worship of him has cooled down quite significantly. You know that while he is considered good, on sort of like the scale, he has been known to never stop trying to save his sister. Like his life obsession, his existence has been spent trying to save her from continuing to be corrupted. Failing. But yes. So it's not really accepted to kind of praise chromatic dragons or chromatic dragon kind at all, but it's not off limits. It's not like a taboo.
Okay. All right. Gives me enough information. I think, I can rest a bit easier.
Yeah, it's.
You're suspicious around other religions.
I mean, that's fair. That's perfectly legit. Yeah, you know, now that you noticed it, you're seeing a lot more kind of. It's fairly obvious the draconic influences, but this is a city renowned for its connection to dragons, so you know it would make sense. This city is.
Someone put their phone away, please.
Is it my phone?
I might be.
Maybe.
Did anyone else hear that, or was it my phone?
I heard
It was like static.
Okay,
Okay,
might have
that
been my
was
phone. I just put it down. Yeah, this city is like the city of Oakberg. Again, you in particular, Sköld, would probably know more than the others just due to education. The city of Oakberg is kind of credited as eradicating dragons from almost genociding them. The dragons, that's kind of what the Dragon Slayer Knights were designed and created to do. So this whole city's existence has been revolved around dragons, basically. Deep.
Right.
Hardcore.
Anybody else have anything?
Well, have you told us all of that?
Want me to recount it?
So now let's sit here for 20 minutes while Rob tells us everything I just said.
I did take some notes, but I sort of dissociated through some of them. But if you have told us that, then Null has been quiet the whole time here anyway, but her face is in a little bit of disbelief. I mean, dragons don't exist anymore. That it would explain why they don't exist, but that's very far-fetched.
Well, there's more far-fetched things I think we've come across in our travels so far than merely ancient races battling each other and other genociding. I know that, well, look at the elves, for instance. They have pretty much...
There's been 3 instances of mass either genocide, extinction, or abandonment. In the last sort of few hundred years, dragons are like the big one. Elves didn't necessarily genocide, but they kind of removed themselves and are just considered more mythical now than legitimately real. And then also orcs. There was an almost simultaneous, within a sort of 20-year period of time, pretty much every civilized nation in the world, known world at least, kind of went on a mass genocide of orcs. And at this point, while there are still some clans remaining, like their numbers are greatly diminished, almost completely eradicated.
There we go. So yeah, I would like to relay that information back to Nal, using my knowledge.
Just to now, Aqua stood there just admiring everything.
Which is even more awkward because you have to talk through Aqua to get to Nell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's go and have dinner.
Yes.
Okay.
That's enough deep conversation for one day.
All right. Who's knocking on the door?
Well,
That was meant to be me.
I have like no vision. I opt out of that.
God damn it, Josh! Why do you never have vision?
Have you no vision, or do you at least see the door?
I have this corner where my cursor's going. That's my vision.
Okay.
Everything else is black.
I do at least see the door.
Well, there isn't much to see, to be fair. You are outside, but I guess when you don't actually have any vision, that's...
No, I noticed going down the corridor of the bedroom, I started to get the 1-block vision again. It was like, back to my old ways.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Can we purchase a spell or something to give you permanent dark vision?
Say I'd permanently look through my parrot that has it, but then I just stand still, so it would be no good anyway.
And you couldn't speak, I think.
So, Sköld, you knock on the door.
Say so, yes.
As you kind of knock with the dragon skull knocker, the sound rings out through the building like it's a proper chunky crunch with a knock. And there's a count to 3 and the door opens and the person inside is invisible.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's invisible.
Not again.
Some guards again from Wildenwell. They're after us.
There we go. Before you is it's not actually that difficult for you to see Sköld because you are a dwarf. But for the rest of you, it takes you a moment to realise that there's a halfling that's opened the door, dressed impeccably in like a waistcoat and quite a fancy tailored jacket. His hair starting to grey, but still has hints of the charcoal black that was there before. Slicked back and is very neatly arranged. He's completely clean shaven. And he looks up at the 4 of you. Good morning. Evening. My apologies. Good evening. Welcome. We've been expecting you. My name is Heskar. You are welcomed into the manor. Please. He kind of takes a step to the side to allow you in.
Thank you. It's quite the place you have here.
Indeed, indeed. It has been passed down through generation after generation, and the Heavenly Lady does appreciate the sights and peace this place offers. If you would like to continue straight through here into the dining room, she will be joining you shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, no problems. And you walk through into an enormous table set for many more people than you are expecting. In the center of the table, there's two long trays, essentially, with lids over them, and in front there's a centerpiece, some kind of like whole animal, potentially pig, pork fresh from the source, it seems. And against the far wall there is a fire crackling and burning away, with a comforting amount of heat emanating from it. And it's just a very peaceful atmosphere, just calm, quiet. Over behind you, against the wall that you came past, is a wine rack with hundreds of different wine bottles. Some so covered in dust so thick, they could be creating their own ecosystems for all you know. And there's a balcony above you with what looks like a kind of veranda, essentially overlooking the dining hall. At which point, as you look up, you do see Heskar kind of up there observing.
Right. Suppose we best take our seats. Now, are you going to be okay near the fire?
Yeah, and that's why I chose this spot.
Okay.
It's nice and cozy. And you see, like, if you sit next to her, she's probably emanating almost as much warmth than the fire is. So.
Vic takes a seat next to you, kind of looking up and down the table, and just like, good spread this. Nice.
Yes. Definitely enough to feed a lot of people.
Indeed.
But once, Vic, I think you've said something we can all agree on.
And with that, we'll take a quick break. Need to go to the loo or anything? Feel free. Go grab a drink.
Yes.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Please feel free to talk amongst yourselves. We'll switch to that scene, and I'll be right back.
Yep, I'll be right back as well. I need it.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Bless you.
Thank you. Whew.
I just returned to the sound of a sneeze.
You have indeed.
I was
Whoa.
like, interesting sound to hear.
I'm just finishing my break, you know.
Of course, of course. By sneezing.
Just blowing out the cobwebs.
Of course. Is everybody back?
I'm back. Josh is back.
Haven't heard Yathina yet.
Well, 3 more seconds and she's legally dead.
There, I thought it was 15 minutes, the whole school rule.
No, those are the old rules.
Yeah, nowadays with social media, if you're not being heard in 5 minutes, you're dead.
You're not
Literally.
faster than a TikTok, that's it.
Precisely. See? We know what's up. We're legit.
Yeah, we're the cool kids.
We're down with the sickness. Ooh,
I mean, Björk is literally down with the sickness.
yeah, true. True. Yep, that's why Rando. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Oh, Yathina, why doth thine do this to me? Right, I suppose I should. What beverages are available at this feast? Only the classiest of all beverages, you know.
Guinness.
I was thinking like Stella Artois out of those little bottles they used to do. You know how it is. Classy. Is Yathina back? Did I hear
Yes.
Yathina back?
Yes, I'm.
Hey.
Well, it's about time.
Ah, I went to the toilet. Don't rush me.
Well, welcome back. The dog is now sneezing incessantly.
I thought that was.
He's excited because Mum's just got back, so he's now sneezing all over the floor. He'll be fine. He'll settle down.
Slip
in a
and slide.
Well, it's not that bad, but nearly.
Ew.
Anyway, as the 4 of you settle down at the table, choosing your spots, you're left sitting for a few minutes, few solid minutes, just kind of idly, you know, chit-chatting, but there's no. It doesn't seem like there's any pressure. It's a very quiet, calm environment. Heskar just kind of keeping watch over you on the balcony. He's not eyeing you up. He doesn't seem to be keeping an eye as such, you know. He's just sort of within earshot, you know, but out of the way. A few minutes later, the door to this side of the room, to Sköld, Nell and Vic's right, Aqua's left, opens, and that is very loud. A tiefling walks through and shuts the door after her. She's wearing what looks like a party dress, essentially, kind of basically just fabric wrapped around her, similar colour to her skin, which is a sort of very bright pink. It's unusual to see tieflings in this kind of shade, but you know, it's been known to happen. They come in all shapes and sizes and colours, as it were. And she enters the room and you can tell she's looking very uncomfortable. She doesn't want to be wearing, like, she doesn't look like she's used to wearing this kind of thing. And she stands, straightens her back, and just hangs by the door for a moment until she hears, and almost like she's trying to listen out for something, and then she hears a light tap on the door, and she opens it again, and this time through steps an incredibly tall lady, you know, towering over most of you, probably even...
Doesn't take much.
No, yeah. At least 6'5", kind of height, easy, without any difficulty whatsoever. And she, while looking humanoid, has like a sort of general air, a sense about her that kind of just radiates from her. She has quite dark skin, especially compared to the shocking bright white of her hair that is kind of left to flow in sort of gentle curls around her sort of shoulders and down her back. And her eyes are very pale, but they've got flecks of purple in them that you know, give off a very innocent sort of look. They look very piercing. She's wearing a very elegant long dress that even sort of scrapes along the floor as she walks, making her look like she glides instead of steps. It's a very deep silver with lighter sort of glittery silver lining all around it, and it looks elegant, expensive, and very well tailored. As she walks in and enters, she's got her hands kind of resting on her stomach, one on top of, like, one sort of like this over each other, and she comes and she stands by the table. Welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I've been looking forward to meeting you. And the second she starts talking, like, this sort of official, authoritative body language she's been holding kind of turns into like a look of childish excitement. Like her back slouches slightly, and a smile creeps across her face, and she kind of looks at you all. My name is Jambari. I'm the Heavenly Lady. I'm Jambari Udun. It's a pleasure. And she kind of giggles slightly. Looks fairly uncomfortable, but also, you know, like she's practiced at this many times with many people, but still kind of doesn't quite feel comfortable doing it. And she looks at all of you. Please, help yourself to food. I wouldn't want to deprive you of the lovely meal. And then she kind of sits down in the chair and looks around at all of you kind of half expectantly, half kind of giddy with excitement almost.
I look back at her and give her a smile, a genuine smile, despite her worries from today. She's trying to pull herself together. Especially because she got like 3 or 4 warnings from different people, and she's like, okay. And so she smiles back and is like, we are the Navigators. I'm Nell. Thank you for your invitation. That was very kind of you.
That's okay. I've heard good things. I thought, why not invite you round and wine and dine you correctly and see what you're like in person? Because It's all well and good hearing about you from other people, but how am I supposed to get a good read on you unless I see you in person, you know?
That's very true. I'm Sköld, and likewise, thank you for the invitation and the meal.
That's okay. That's okay. It was nothing really. It was nothing. You're from Karaskar, you know?
Correct.
I've visited your people many times. I am great friends with the Grimhammer clan. They may not think so, but I like to think we're friends, even if they can be a bit difficult sometimes. But that's okay. That's okay. That's who they are, and that's okay.
Indeed.
You did say she looks like a tall human, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we gauge how old she is?
Early 20s. She has the signs of sort of she's gone past her teens, but into her 20s, where she's just starting to, you know, just starting to properly look an adult. Despite her sort of semi-childish body language she has that makes her look slightly awkward, she still holds herself and has the look of an adult. The more of a look you get at her, that you can see that she has like slight freckling on her face, under her, like on the top of her cheeks, under her eyes, and in the firelight, it almost looks. It's probably an illusion. Like it's an illusion from the glitter on her sort of dress, but they look like silver flecks. It's quite interesting. She looks over at you, Aqua. You are of the water people, yes? I have heard many things, many stories about you, but never got one to meet someone in person. This is exciting.
Yeah. I'm Aqua. I'm from the water realm. We not many of us travel away from our realm. I wanted to go on an adventure, see people, travel lands while I'm young, and I met up with these group of fine adventurers that I've been with now for many weeks.
That's very exciting. I too wish I could use my youth to explore and see the world, but alas, I have responsibilities. But that's okay. I like it here. There's lots to see, lots to do, many people to meet, like you. Cool, that rhymed. Anyway, I suppose we should get to business. I don't want to keep you for too long if you're busy with other things. I'm sure you've heard that the heart of Asoa, the eternal flame, has been stolen.
Yes, I was made aware of it quite early on, but I didn't know whether it was just rumor or if it was the truth.
I'm sorry to say that it is the truth. We got reports of it about 6 months ago. And we've not been able to track it down.
Any idea how it came to be?
Well, I know I was just praising the Grimhammer clan as being being my friends, but it seems they got lax in their defense. From what we gather, someone snuck into the hall and took it. You can see like she's very closed, like closed body language, kind of arms scrunched in slightly and hunched over a bit more, and there was a tinge of disappointment and anger in like what she said.
Okay. A covert operation, no major casualties, or was that fighting?
No casualties. It was an in and out job, quick, easy. But they took it. We entrusted the Grimhammer clan with that particular item, thinking that, oh, no one's going to try and break into the Hall of Kings and steal it. Admittedly, that may have been foolish, but it was my ancestors that did it, and I have just been following tradition ever since. It appears I am the one that has to clean up the mess.
You doubt the decisions of your ancestors?
Of course not. I doubt the integrity of the Grimhammer clan. Maybe
they've been compromised.
Either they've been compromised or they've been paid an awful lot of money by Dimetaria to hand it over. I don't know. All I know is I've been hearing rumors that the heart is on its way to Dimetaria, and that cannot be allowed to happen. There's more to the heart than people know, and it cannot get into the wrong hands.
I suppose we should focus on what we can do instead of what has already been done. So where do we start?
Well,
Sorry, I don't quite understand. I thought it was your... Is it a jewel? I forgot what it was. Is it a jewel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was the jewel of Sköld's people, and you're saying that your family, your ancestors entrusted them with it?
Here's the thing. This information cannot leave the room. And you see her place her hand on the table, and a kind of a silver shimmer emanates from the table outwards and just engulfs the room. I need you to swear that what I'm about to tell you will not leave your lips to another person other than the three of us and the four of you. Under pain of death, torture, and suffering.
I swear.
I put my hand up. I swear.
I swear as well.
Vic raises a glass and I swear. Good. The heart of Isoa has that name for a reason. When Isoa the Eternal Flame was defeated and fell into the mountain, the story is that a brave hero flew up and ripped out her heart in single combat, and they were both vanquished into the volcano. The heart being the only heirloom remaining. It's true, it is the only heirloom remaining. What isn't true is not the heart. Now, believe me when I say, I'm not proud of this. I'd rather it was just destroyed. But sometimes, and forgive me, the stubbornness of dwarves can outshine everything.
Nothing false there.
When the Dragon Slayers, brave Dragon Slayers, investigated, tried to make sure that the body was completely destroyed, they came across the heart, and the dwarves had already claimed it as their compensation. And admittedly, it certainly gives off an impression. It's an incredible sight for all to see. But it's more dangerous than they perhaps realized, and it was safer at the time to not tell them the truth. I'm waffling, I'm rambling, I'm sorry. This is difficult. The heart of Isoa isn't the heart, it is an egg.
Oh.
If it's an egg, what's an egg to or from?
The dragon, Aqua. The dragon. Nell literally says it like that.
I'm just trying to get all the facts.
Your friend is right, it's a dragon egg. We were lucky enough that very few people have ever seen a dragon egg. Most who have seen them don't live long enough to talk about them. However, well, for hundreds of years, generations upon generations, the secret has remained safe and nobody has found out. And thus, we haven't had to worry. But it seems now somebody has found out and nothing good comes from this.
But who knows about this? I look at Sköld. Did you know about this? Did you know that this is a dragon egg?
Did not know of its exact purpose. I mainly thought it was a gem, yes, but of extreme importance and power, but not that it was an egg to a dragon. I suppose legend and myth often get intertwined with reality, and soon the truth is often left behind.
Okay. So, Jambari, I apologize, but who outside your family knows about this?
We didn't think anybody did. Evidently we were wrong.
What if they don't know, but they just stole the heart regardless because the egg, because they know that it's valuable to Sköld's people and to your people. Maybe they don't know what it is. Maybe they stole it just to steal it. If that makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Sort of just as a way of leveraging money out of you, maybe, or I don't know. Maybe they don't know what it is.
It's possible. It's possible that they don't know the significance of what they've done, but we cannot let it get into the wrong hands. If someone works out what that is, if they don't already know, and they find a way to hatch it, we're looking at a brand new Dragon Age.
I've had chickens. If chicken eggs are not being hatched for a long time, whatever's inside dies. Doesn't that happen to dragon eggs either?
Dragons are eternal creatures. They are resilient.
That is unfortunate.
What do you know about the disappearance of all dragons, if anything?
Not much besides stories. No concrete sort of writings, if you will.
Again, that's kind of intentional. For every dragon we killed, or every dragon that got killed, there were hundreds more, springing up from layer after layer. It was untenable. It was impossible to keep up. My ancestors devised a strategy that worked. They were able to find a way to imprison them.
I see. So, that means they are still alive.
Sorry, what do you mean by imprison them? I'm essentially asking the same question as Sköld, but I don't that's my opinion.
Yes.
Well, they beseeched higher powers. And those higher powers came through.
Oh dear.
Like gods?
If you wish to call them that, then yes.
I don't believe in gods, so I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Powerful beings, far beyond whatever you and I could ever imagine to comprehend, let alone achieve.
We have a bad track record with making promises to things more powerful than ourselves, I think.
That doesn't sound very appealing.
Well,
I mean, we're good at getting rid of the people we made promises to.
That is not helpful.
let's put it this way.
When you say that, Aqua, the tiefling behind Jambare steps forwards and kind of grabs hold of something just inside her dress, inside one of the folds, and pulls out a hilt. As she pulls, you see a sort of ethereal-esque blade appear, and she holds it to your throat.
Whoa.
Very slowly.
You must.
Can I still talk, or is I like?
No, you can
Got
still
no-
talk.
I
Right.
mean, not you. It's we made some bad choices in the past with some bad people, and we kind of had to deal with our own problems. So we
they
can take
made-
care of ourselves.
They made a deal with a hag, and the hag came after us. That's what he meant. It was a poorly timed joke.
Yes, you must excuse my friend. His words sometimes don't come out in the right order.
I've not been around much. I don't know the etiquette of this world yet.
Saskia, put it away. She steps back into the corner, keeping her eyes glued on Aqua.
But what I'm trying to say is, it seems a common trait amongst all mortal men and women to gamble on things outside of their understanding or control.
Hmm.
What would a deal like that, or I don't know if it's a deal, or what would that look like? Do they want anything in return from you to keep those dragons imprisoned?
I don't know. I didn't make it. It wasn't me that made it. It was ancestors long ago.
Inside check.
Make an insight check. Seems to be legit.
I am rolling so badly today, and it is really annoying.
She seems to be telling the truth. But no, I haven't done anything. I've only been in power for 3 years. And
no, not you. But as you mentioned, well, sometimes people aren't as integral as they once used to be.
That's true. It's true.
Maybe some things have come back around full circle.
We are looking into what we can do. But I'm lost. I'm going to level with you. I'm completely lost. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to keep calm. But
okay. Well, let's stop talking about the past then and try and change the future.
I approve.
Do you have any idea where the heart is right now? Or who has it?
Absolutely no idea. Honestly, I was going to hire you to try and find it.
Would you know where to start?
No. Although I might be able to find a way.
If you have any contacts that we can start with, then, well, it's a first step. At the moment, we're as blind as anybody else.
Indeed. My suggestion... It will have had to be transported across the sea. This is where we were kind of at before we decided to outsource the quest. It must have come across the sea. It must have come from Karasgard. And if it's going to Dimitaria, it's going somewhere across here. Maybe through Cambliyia, maybe around Cambliyia, maybe it's up north, maybe it's down south. I don't know. But it must have come across the sea.
Who would be able to transport such a valuable item undetected?
There are many smugglers and carriers of contraband. We know of a few. We've captured a few. No one's been forthcoming just yet. We have managed to deal with a few filthy, stinking pirates along the way, which is always good. Pirates are a scourge and must be eliminated.
Agreed.
No one had any information.
No one's telling us anything. Usually we can pay them, if nothing else, to sell out a few of their friends, but so far nothing.
Either that means that they're getting more to keep quiet, or maybe it's not a group of people who keep in contact with everybody else, an individual sort of sect of very specialized.
If it is pirates, they would sell themselves out for anything more than what they normally would get.
They have a personal stake in it.
It's obviously, yeah, a small group that's involved, and it seems no one else knows, which is unlucky and unfortunate, or something bigger's going on that we don't even know about.
And the more I hear about it, the more it seems like an inside job.
It's possible. The worrying thing is we don't even know who's in charge in Dimetaria right now. There's been a recent change in power, and they're being very secretive. We've sent envoys who have just been rebuffed and returned. We've sent spies who have not come returned at all.
Would you like us to go and return?
If you could return, that'd be fantastic, but judging by our attempts so far, I don't think it's likely.
That doesn't sound good at all.
We have our ways to try and stay undetected. If
But we
that's
have
what...
less connections, don't we? So
Yeah, I mean, what are our options here? If you decide to entrust us with this job, which I feel like you will have to, because otherwise you will likely kill us because we know too much.
And my words for choicing.
No, where could we go? We could try and infiltrate the pilots. We could go to Sköld's homeland and talk to the people there. We could go to Dimetaria and see if there's people that we know, or that know more. But that is a route that is much more uncertain than their first two options. So I don't know.
What do you think would be the best course of action? If I were to hire you, what would you recommend?
Go to the source.
Yeah.
The source being...
First God.
Okay.
It'd be risky to go elsewhere without any more information.
Sköld is from there. He knows his people, and if anything else fails, we retrace the steps of whatever has happened. If we don't know who has taken the, I want to say jewel, but the egg, and then who has taken it across the sea, then go on.
As I arrived to this realm, I did sail around for a bit, so I know some docks. So we could always ask around there, see if anyone might answer just to us.
When did you arrive? You notice as she says that, and she's looking down at you, her voice gets deeper and kind of reverberates slightly. Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh. Nice.
You feel something akin to a spell, but it's not a spell, it's almost like an instinct. Almost like you're being compelled to answer, but you've been interrogated before. You know how to...
Been around Nell enough.
You've been around Nell enough. You know how to deal with probing questions. So it's up to you whether you tell the complete truth or whether you lie or whatever.
Well, I mean, I would tell the truth, but I don't ever think I know. Can't remember if that was ever established. I've been here for 4 years now, I would say.
You look awfully young to have been here for 4 years.
Ah, well, that's my magic. I somehow made myself younger by mistake. Still don't know how.
That's actually true. His magic is a
is.
little bit unpredictable.
It's true, but like a week.
Yeah,
It was a
I
year.
wouldn't be surprised.
It was
if
a year, yeah.
Is it a year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I took a year off. I got lucky.
Oh, so you're like 20 now.
I was 20. No, I was 22. I'm 21 now.
No, you were 21. I remember.
Oh, was I?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you wanted to be like.
Ooh,
You wanted to
21st
be.
birthday coming up.
I think it's only been like 2 years,
Ah,
but it doesn't
okay.
matter. It's a.
I mean, to be fair, you wouldn't probably keep track that closely of dates and stuff, how long you've been here, especially as a pirate when you're just sailing at sea.
Exactly. Sailors.
That was Yathina talking, not Nell.
Okay.
She looks at you, Jambari, with a kind of quizzical look. I feel like you know more than you're letting on. But, alas, clearly you're not going to be forthcoming. When did you all meet? Tell me about yourselves. Oh, don't all jump at this opportunity.
I mean-
I was about to start talking. I'm from the Southern Islands. I came here to travel. I always wanted to come to Orkberg. There have been stories about the city and the grand dragon slayers, and people who have traveled from my area and visited as tourists. And I wanted to come here to travel, and I went on a ship, and we didn't know each other yet, but the ship got attacked and we shipwrecked, and next thing I knew, I woke up on a beach with these fellows around.
Yeah, quite an unfortunate meet, if you will. But fortunate in a way that we all survived, I suppose.
You sailed here. Any,
Yeah, you could say we were all starting our own adventures by traveling the world.
Indeed.
Interesting. And where did you sail from? Last.
That's all. Probably from Yathina speaking. I don't have the map in front of me, but I would assume from a port from the Southern Island, in the north of the Southern Island somewhere.
See. So. Okay. Interesting. Nice. So, you all met on the ship, except for you, who met them afterwards?
I was on a ship passing by and saw them and decided to rescue them since I can breathe in water and didn't fear drowning.
Aqua, you hear in your head, just tell her the truth.
Nope.
Just nope.
Okay, I tried.
Interesting. Well, it sounds like a wonderful story. I'd like to show you something, if that's okay.
Sure.
By all means.
Again, this comes under the "you tell nobody" policy.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She leads you out into the kitchen from
Okay.
the banquet hall and across, and lifts a hatch over in the corner of the room and walks
Right,
downstairs.
Getting,
I can't teleport.
Okay.
Wow,
Oh.
I'm the only one that successfully walked down a pair of stairs.
We're not used to this interaction.
I know, you actually have to press buttons.
Oh, we have to press
Oh.
buttons. Oh, okay.
Mm.
That didn't
Was-
work either. Oh, there you go.
And she takes you down into like a dark cellar, almost like a pantry. And okay. It's lit, like it's illuminated by candle lanterns, but there's very little to it. And she walks over and she kind of starts patting against the far wall. Oh, it is somewhere. Oh, here it is. And she sort of slides her hand over a brick, and as she does, the wall follows. And that is the wrong room.
Whoops, that's the sacrificial room.
That's
Oh my
that's the
God.
secret
We're not meant to
sacrifice room.
see that.
That one. Right before your eyes, the
Ooh.
room changes.
That is so cool. Such a cool feature that you can just change the rooms.
I know, right?
Ah, this is the disco room.
You hired the same guys that were at the pub.
Actually, I am waiting for her to step in first.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, imagine walking into a strange room.
I just want, out of reflex, I just wanted to go see.
She, followed by Saskia the tiefling, she walks into a room that has 4 portals sort of placed equidistant around on the other end, kind of shimmering in different colours, kind of reminiscent to the light show from the bar that you were at earlier. And she steps into the middle of the room. Whoops. Let's get Vic out of the way. There we go. And this, you may remember I was telling you how the dragons got locked away.
Mm-hmm.
How they got locked in here.
Is there no worry that they may break out?
No.
Okay, that puts a bit of relief on this.
It's been like this for hundreds of years. They are safe behind the walls. I'd like to go and see the Green. And she takes a step forward and steps into the portal, through the portal, and disappears. And
My eyes widen. I'm like,
and then
what?
Saskia follows immediately and disappears also.
I stare back at the group. Do we follow her?
I guess, but I have a bad feeling I'm not going to remember this one either.
Fuck it, I love portals. Let's go.
Okay.
Why not?
Now we're
Not this
playing with
far.
portals.
You all step through the portal. Vic follows. And you find yourself spread out. Saskia's there too, I promise. On what looks to be just an infinity pool below you. Behind you, you can see the portal that you just stepped through, glowing green, with flecks of blue and purple inside it also. It's difficult to hear anything aside from just the sound of a vacuum. As you kind of all step through, Vic takes a few steps forward and looks down and is just kind of shaken slightly. And tries to grab hold of something, but there's nothing there to grab hold of. And runs forwards off the sort of infinity pool. Saskia also looks slightly unsettled and steps off to the side. Jambari.
No,
Sorry, carry on.
likely do the same. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of
I
water.
follow Vic. I want to say that.
I am mesmerized by the infinity pool.
Jambari looks over at you, Aqua, and at the rest of you. It's okay, you're safe. This is fine. You're not gonna fall. Don't worry. This is the dimension we've got them stored in.
Okay.
It's big. It's very big.
So it's unlikely we're gonna run into one.
Make a perception check. Even with such a low roll, you can hear a guttural growl and the sound of claw on stone. Oh, I think one's come to say hello to us. Shall we go and say hello?
No, I'm happy by my pool.
I mean, yes. Nell is super curious about it. She is torn between self-preservation and curiosity, but fucking dragons. Yes, of course she wants to see them.
You hear, as you take step forwards, you hear the flap of wings. 2 flaps of wings. And then a thud. Ahead of you, you can see a path and a bridge. And then, out of the sky, a ginormous, literally like the size of the castled keep that you saw in Ogberg, which is considerable. A green dragon comes down, both back, like rear legs touching down, and then the claws gripping into the stone, and it kind of lowers itself, looks like it's ready to pounce. And then Jambari kind of just grins, and the dragon takes a few steps forwards with its claws, gripping into the stone more and more and more. And then it lurches forwards and looks like it's going to charge, and it gets to here. It's supposed to get to there. And almost out of the blue, just collides with something in front of the two of you, Jambari and Nell, and it just gets flung a fair chunk back from where it collided with whoever it was, and kind of reels around slightly and pulls itself back. I thought I smelled you, Jambari. So nice of you to visit again. And you brought friends. And the dragon kind of slinks its neck down to you, and you can see there's like frill down the center of its spine that basically elongates and gets taller and taller the further back its body it goes, until it gets about halfway down, and then it starts retreating back until it's just a few inches on its tail. Its mouth is long and thin like an alligator, with teeth that just seem to have layer upon layer upon layer, and a tongue that's thin and weedly and kind of splits at the end slightly in a very serpentine-esque way. And its body is long and thin, with just like spines sticking out from sort of any orifice, like under its chin and under its arms, of its wings, and then under its legs. And it sort of seems to be stalking the 5 of you And 6 of you.
Gold is sort of like fighting every urge not to run away. But
Now,
he's stuck in a constant state of being too afraid to move yet. So he can't run away, and at the same time, he can't do anything else.
Nal is just looking up at the creature in awe, trying to study its face. All that she's known about dragons is always like pirates, like anything, like vampires. Everything has been from vague stories from her childhood that her parents told her. And so seeing one in real life, she's not quite sure whether she's dreaming or not. And she's just no fear whatsoever, just literally staring up in awe and just slight excitement and in curiosity at the creature not saying anything.
No hello, Jambari. Shame. It's almost like you know that one day I'll escape and you're the first one I'll come looking for. Can't keep me here forever. Jambari takes a moment and then sort of pulls herself to full height and just chuckles. And oh, you. Every time, you always such pleasant greetings, you silly goose. And there's a very like guttural, either sort of angry growl. I am no goose. I am an apex predator. Of course. Silly me. Could never confuse you with such a inconsequential creature. Norrit. No, I just came to show my friends how trapped you are. Always a pleasure. Toodaloo. And she turns and literally turns her back to the dragon and starts walking back towards the portal. And now, while you're still staring at the creature, while Jambari's turned to walk away, you can see him reeling his neck back, his head facing in the ground, and then he pulls it down and unleashes just a torrent of like green fog that just is heading straight for you. And then as it reaches basically like a foot in front of you, just hits a solid wall essentially and just starts pooling around him. And you just hear a loud cry of frustration. And then he flaps his wings once and twice and flies into the air, and you can just see the dragon flying off into the distance away from you.
Before I'm going to take a step back, but before I do, I want to reach out and see if I can touch the barrier.
You reach out, and literally straight in front of you, directly in front of you, there is just an invisible force field that as you touch it, you feel like pinpricks of electricity, essentially.
And I wouldn't be able to step through either.
No. It's it physically stops you from progressing any further.
I then turn around and look at Aqua, look at Sköld, look at Vic, and look at Jambari. Wow, that is amazing.
Vic's just looking a bit shook. He's like, holy crap, that was intense.
I'm looking at this affinity pool still. Yes, this is amazing.
You don't see the dragon, Aqua? There was a dragon there.
I heard it.
What was his name again, Jambari? Sorry.
Norrit. Silly name for a silly dragon. I've known him since he was but a hatchling. Time
And-
progresses faster here. We should leave
And-
before it gets too bad.
Can dragons...
What do you mean time progresses faster? How long have we been in here?
We're used to it. Can dragons hatch in here?
Oh yes. But only if they've already been birthed.
Oh, okay.
And you step back through the portal. And leave the map. Good job, Yathina.
I'm on the
Stop
wrong
moving.
side. Sorry, I'm on the wrong side.
There we go. The silence is deafening again when you step through. The loud whistle of the vacuum, essentially, but around you, is gone, replaced just by a soft whir of the portals around you.
Sort of gather myself and say that perhaps we should refrain from teasing the dragons too much.
I
Can we
suppose
see
you're
another
right.
one?
Oh no, I wouldn't recommend going through the others. That's where we keep the bad ones.
And the green one is the not worst one?
Well, Norrit comes out to play sometimes, but the rest keep themselves to themselves. Trust me. Right now, the others aren't as safe. Anyway, shall we go upstairs and finish our food?
I think I've lost my appetite.
She just like
I could do with a drink.
I hesitate like for 10 seconds.
Jambari and Saskia head back upstairs, and Vic follows suit, heading back for the dining room. Once you all congregate back in the dining room, Jambari retakes her seat. I hope you understand that I've invested a lot of trust in you with this.
Yeah, I can see a lot is at stake now,
And
more than just an heirloom.
indeed, and I hope, having seen what comes from an egg like that, you understand why we can't let it loose.
Yes, it would be hundreds of thousands of casualties if that ever did get out.
Well, I do have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Are all dragons as bad? There's no good in them.
Metallic dragons aren't bad. Metallic dragons are inherently good. They like helping
What
people.
makes them so?
Their nature, their creator, their lord, their
So would
deity.
they like to stay, like, live but be peaceful with everyone else in the world?
I feel like I'm indulging a lot of secrets upon you, but you've proven trustworthy so far. Metallic dragons weren't part of the culling or capturing. They've just been smarter about how they live their lives.
Oh, so they do just live in peace then by themselves.
Either by themselves or they integrate themselves into societies using whatever magic they may.
It's a lot to take in.
Yes, I understand that it's probably a bit overwhelming. I'm sorry if I've overwhelmed you.
No, I just gotta do my job, I suppose. But I don't want to lose track of why I started this adventure. But I know that we're now part of something much bigger.
I wish I had more information for you. It would be an awfully wasted journey to go all the way to Karsgard just to find nothing and have to come back.
Well, the only other option is to try and beat them to their final location, but even that is vague.
Vague is the right word, yeah.
We need to ask you for a favor.
What favor is that?
Please don't think I'm trying to disrespect you. We are...
In my experience, when someone says something like that, it usually means they're about to disrespect you.
I'm not respecting you, but... no, we've... To be completely honest with you, and if probably when we're taking on this job, there are a few hurdles for us that will prevent us from fully committing to your job. I take full responsibility. It's probably my fault, but there is quite the bounty on our heads.
I facepalm.
What do you mean?
In Wildenwell, we've just come from Wildenwell, and as I already relayed to you, we fought a hag there, and the Lord's daughter has died, and there was information that the Lord couldn't properly deal with, and then I thought it was better to tell the truth rather than lie to him, and he didn't process that properly and held me captive. And I hold up my hands where there's probably still some scars, or if not scars, but like faint wounds or from the electroshocks. And he tried to get information out of me. I don't know, information, compliance, something. And then he let me go, and next thing we knew, we have a 16,000 gold bounty on our heads. Don't get me wrong. I think we're all very happy to help out, especially because it's so dear to Sköld. But if we want to act freely and want to be able to maybe cross over to Dimetaria to take ships without having to look over our shoulders, then this bounty needs to go away.
While you say that, I do ponder, well, maybe we can use it to our advantage. If we have a bounty on our heads, then it gives us a good alibi.
I mean, yeah. The corrupted are definitely going to trust us when they realize we have quite a wealthy bounty, but then they might try and kill us.
They might try and sell us out. That's what I'm saying. If we go and find...
It will open and close doors.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, Scold, and I understand that it would give us an alibi to say we're on the run and that's why we're leaving and looking for things. But at the same time, as I said, we will have to look over our shoulders constantly. We can trust no one. 16,000 gold is a lot of money. I recognize that. And if there's a bounty board out with our sketches on it, maybe, then everyone will try and look for us.
I don't understand what you're asking of me.
I would assume there's some sort of payment for this job, yes?
Are you asking to defer payment in favor of removing this bounty?
Yes.
And the
I
whole...
apparently speak for the rest of them. They haven't agreed to
Yeah,
that.
I'm not keen on that. We haven't got the money or resources to do a long enough journey right now, this minute. We would need some resources to help us set off. I feel like the bounty is more of a something we can worry about later.
Okay. Let's start from the beginning here. You have a bounty on your heads. A substantial bounty.
Yes.
From Wildenwell.
Yes.
From the Lord of Wildenwell.
From the Lord of Wildenwell.
I want to reiterate, we didn't betray... Well, I betrayed someone a little bit, but not on purpose. We didn't kill anyone, though. Well, no, that's also not true.
So, what Now's trying to say is she was trying to help, and the Lord did not agree with her, and took his anger out on us all.
She told the truth when maybe
He did not want to
say
listen.
anything at all.
Yeah.
We were there to save the town from a mysterious killer, which we did. It was the hag. And then, yeah, we tried to help with the king's daughter after she was found dead, and he did not like us for helping out, because we were very good at the job.
I am being flooded with more questions than answers at this point. How were you helping with the Lord's daughter, despite her being dead?
Nah, I will clarify that. We were trying to find the killer of the daughter, and when we found a potential cause, well, that's when the problem started occurring.
I lean over and whisper, "It was vampires, we think."
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, I was about to say, both Scold and I tried to not say it, but you did.
The vampire population is not supposed to be public,
Yes, I do realize that now.
and yet you know about it.
Did I know about what?
We
Pleading
met
ignorance.
we kind of met a nice group that were trying to stop a rogue vampire, if you want, and that was our lead.
Okay. You four are getting yourselves into some unusual stuff.
Hmm.
Tell
We
me
travel
about it.
around a lot.
What do you want from me? Speak
Can you
plain.
make the bounty go away?
Of course, I am the Heavenly Lady. I am in charge of everything.
And we would like you to do that so we are at ease traveling the lands to help
Would
you
it be
out.
possible to have, I don't know, some resources / funds for our trip to
One thing at a
Dwarven
time.
Islands?
Aqua.
Basically, can we take out a loan of 50,000 gold? No.
50,000 gold.
No, I'm joking.
That is a lot of money.
Yes.
And do you
Yeah.
intend on paying this back?
I mean, I don't know. Are we?
I think for the
No.
moment, if we get rid of the bounty, then we can work with whatever amount you wish to sponsor us for. It doesn't have to be much. We've got on with literally nothing before. I'm sure we can get on with.
We're always happy to do the odd bounty for a bit extra.
Exactly. We can
Well,
make it work.
let me speak plainly to you for a while. If you take this job, which I'm hoping you will, because I've told you a lot, this will be the job that you are focusing on until it's done.
Yes. Okay.
Any distractions, and you will displease me.
Okay.
However, this is a big job that may take months, possibly years. Who knows? Hopefully days, but anyway. $50,000 gold's a lot. What would you do with the money?
Pay off our bounty, pay travel, pay people off, pay people for information, and hopefully live.
I mean, we need better equipment if we're going to go up against this.
Oh, that too, obviously. Yeah, sure.
An airship.
Aqua's eyes widen. Yes, definitely. Has to travel.
If only airships existed.
Yeah.
I jest. But
Good Vic, pay off debts.
maybe buy some horses.
That's a lot of things. Split 4 ways, that's only, what, 12,000 gold each? Ish? Are you sure that all of your wants and needs are going to be taken by such an amount?
Are you offering more?
Yes.
I'm going to speak frankly here. I am not concerned about the money. My companions may be, especially the blue one.
I'm trying to shake my head. I want the money.
I am not, me as Nell, I personally am not concerned about the money. I am concerned about helping you, keeping my friends alive, and paying off that bounty. So I don't have to worry that someone comes around the corner and slits my throat. But I do agree that we cannot live off nothing. And I do agree that we do need money to travel. We do need money to maybe buy equipment. I tend to get hurt a lot. I need a lot of healing potions.
That's more self-implicated than anything.
Shut up. Yeah.
You all look fairly well equipped. But there are conditions to working for me. Namely, sigils. You will bear my sigil.
How is that helpful?
Where does the sigil go?
It is but a pin that you will wear.
What? Surely you don't want to be associated if we get captured or if we get asked questions?
It gives us a bit of leniency.
Do you plan on getting captured and interrogated?
I don't plan on it. It seems to keep happening.
Only for now, though.
That doesn't fill me with confidence.
Don't worry, we're great at getting her out of it. We threw a party for the last guy.
She's still alive.
You four have a strange way of dealing with.
But they get done.
They do get done.
You give us a task, we will try our hardest to do it or die trying. Hopefully the first.
She kind of rests her elbow on the table and then looks up at Heska and then back down to the four of you. You seem to be the best choice. And I've trusted you with enough so far already that you can't possibly betray me now. I'll think on it. I'll see what I can provide. I'm sure I have plenty.
No, I thank you for the invitation again. But as Nell said, I think the bounty's the main thing.
The bounty is no issue.
Well,
I am
then
the Heavenly Lady of Cambliyia. I can nullify such things. Silly. You don't have to worry about that anymore. What you do have to worry about is completing this job for me, because I've entrusted a lot in you already, and I expect it done.
You have my loyalty, I suppose, due to the fact that this is of concern to my people as much as it is of anybody else's. And
Indeed.
so I'll take this as a higher priority than my original plans.
I suppose I should define what I want you to do. And then you can pledge yourselves to me. She kind of hunches over again. You can tell she's uncomfortable being authoritative like this. I want you to nullify the threat of this egg. Isoa's egg as well, especially. Isoa was a particularly nasty red dragon, generations old, millennia, and had dealings with nasty folk. If her bloodline were to continue, then trouble would come. I also understand that I haven't given you much to go on. And I want you to pledge that if you're unable to contain the threat, as in contain the egg, that you deal with the threat that comes from it.
Yeah. Vic was scared of a griffin, now he's got to fight a dragon. This is going to be fun.
Well, we'll give it our all. Or die trying.
Well, it's a baby dragon. It's an egg. We make omelette.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I wonder what dragon egg tastes like.
I do have one question though.
Of course.
How do we neutralize the egg? I'm assuming it's a little bit harder than your regular egg to crack.
I don't know. All I know is an egg isn't a threat if it's still an egg. If you can find a way to destroy said egg, then I will bestow great honours upon you.
Well, looks like the highest likelihood is to contain it. You seem to have the resources available to store things in other dimensions.
Oh, well, that's not me. That was my ancestors, I've told you. I don't think that I'm capable of that kind of magic.
But if we're unable to destroy the egg, would we be able to chuck it through one of the dimension doors to get rid of it?
I appreciate the question, and I understand your naivety on such things. But if you were to pass an egg of that lineage to a horde of dragons kept in captivity for hundreds and thousands of years, they would wreak havoc on Earth.
Oh, okay. We'll find a way to crack the egg.
Yeah, well, I suggest that while we go do the physical work, that perhaps you go hit the books, if you will.
I have people working on it. For now, rest. Feel free to use my manor as your base of operations. You are more than welcome. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's comfy, it's warm. There's food available whenever you need. And
Thank you.
I am here if you need to ask more questions.
I'm sure there'll be plenty more once we've slept on it.
Quite. I understand that I've put a lot upon you, and I'm expecting a lot from you, but this is more than just me. You understand? This is the world.
Not just the world, every realm, in a sense.
Yes, that's the world. Aqua.
No, realms are not necessarily.
Not
the
to
world.
me. I don't know that.
I appreciate you taking the time to see me. And I appreciate you taking the time to consider my offer. I bid you good evening. And she walks back into the room she came from, followed by Saskia. And the door closes behind her, leaving the four of you in the dining hall.
I look up to Heska. So, apparently we have rooms?
Yes, of course. Of course. Please, follow me. That's not what I wanted to do at all. I wanted that.
Yathina was dancing on the table there for a second.
I tried to move through the table, but that was blocked.
You meet Heska in the entrance hall, and he guides you back upstairs. And yes, well, we have a plethora of rooms available to your right here, single rooms, directly this way, and he kind of points, and in this room, this room, this room, and this room.
Right.
Imagine clicking buttons.
Okay.
Come on.
Was a reflex.
So there's these two rooms here, and then there's two rooms down here. I have opened the doors to the rooms that are available.
I take this one. I want this. So
Okay. The rooms assigned.
I like this.
Single rooms for a change.
I know. Such luxury.
A new mission on the horizon. Potential of riches, fame, fortune, death.
Death.
A moment to reflect upon yourselves. We'll end the session there for this week. Good job, guys. He didn't die.
Didn't blow
Nearly.
it either. Nearly.
Vic,
But,
fantastic work today.
I know. MVP.
so smart and well thought out with everything you said. 10 out of 10. We return next week, hopefully with a full contingent. And we'll see what happens with a group with a purpose and potential danger on the horizon. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel on Thursday when this session will be going up. 6:30 GE, some British summertime still, I think so, for another couple of weeks. And then on Saturday, Ancient Unknowns with Rando, Yathina, and Burius. We'll return to Morales and continue that story after a week off. Because it was my birthday, so we had a week off for my birthday, and Burius was at a wedding. So we'll see you guys next week. I hope you had a good time. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you. And we'll see you on Saturday or next Tuesday.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, you're not going to raid anyone?
We were. I was just kind of doing a fade out instead of a... We're just going to go straight to a raid. There we go. I keep forgetting to mute my mic, so...
We're making progress again.
That was such a good session.
Yeah.
So I muted you guys so that it didn't come through on the stream, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk to you while the Discord is muted and deafened, but I was actually just talking to the stream, so I'm really good at this. But no, that was a good session.
That was one of the best sessions we had so far. I'm actually quite sorry for Burius that he missed this one.
Yeah, me too.
What are you on about? That was his best performance so far.
It was very story heavy. It was very progress heavy. It was very character heavy, but it didn't feel like there was even one moment where it was, slacking. And we had some epic things happen with the dragons. It was a really good session.
Mm-hmm. I like the lure.
Yeah. Did that stream crash? Did we crash their stream?
No?
It's not loading for me.
Oh, it loaded for me, but then I clicked off it because...
Please remind me that I want to do something in the beginning of the next session.